Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I'm pretty excited about this week. Other than the Nürburgring, I'm pretty sure this is my favorite track. Can't think of another track I really like more than this, so it's got to be my favorite track, right? And with how much fun this Rust's been lately, I think it's going to be a real fun combo. Setup to start with. It's a pretty smooth track. A lot of fast corners. I'm thinking we're going to need like a medium stiff suspension, probably a good deal of aero. There's really only one straightaway, but I just think you'll carry so much more speed through the corners with aero that'll... There's just too many corners on this track and not enough straightaways for it to be a less aero track, in my opinion. Could be wrong. These are all just my initial thoughts. Sure, some crazy aliens running out there with like no wing, but I ain't got the energy for that. Silverstone. I just wasn't, not too confident with my Silverstone set because I really didn't really give it my all. I gave it what I could, but I didn't finish the set, let's say. Zolder is slower corners, so I don't really, want to use that set. Road America's big long straightaways with no wing. Don't really want to use that set. Suzuka. I think I want to use Suzuka. That track's, it's got a lot of fast corners. It does have slow corners too, but it's got that big old keyhole corner just before 130R. What else does it have? It has turns 1 and 2, which are big fast sweepers on Suzuka. The S's are similar type sweeping corners like here. And Brands Hatch does have a couple right angle turns too. So I think Suzuka's a good place to start. And show as I can check my wing on this set's maxed out, which my gut's telling me that's going to be the best approach this week. So let's go run some laps and see how it goes. Yeah, I just really love the flow of this track. I'm just gonna forgot to set my monitors up. Apologize for that. Give me 1 second. I get the all-important tape. Make sure that connection is strong. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I always really like this track. It's more of it is a natural terrain track. More like a road. So it's more of that old school, they just made the best use of the land feel that I enjoy. I wish they do it more nowadays. Let's see here, breaking a 100 board, just taking it nice and easy. Really don't want to push hard in the beginning and warm it up. Broke at that first board, down to 3rd. Up to 4th. Wants to push in 4th around that corner. Down to 3rd. Braking a little bit after the 100 board that time, down to 3rd. Back on the gas. after the, I think it was a 200 board, or the board before the 100 board. Oh, down to third. Braking at the dirt patch a little bit after. That time don't need to go down to first. Let's keep it second. Down to second. It's kind of awkward gearing. Braking on whatever board that was on my right. Car's a little bouncy off the curbs, but that is a Porsche. Let's see if we can do something with that. So again, braking at the 100 board, can probably brake. No, braking at that 100 board seems like a good spot actually. I'll take this in a little bit deeper this time. I was about 15 feet past the 100 board. We'll go to third gear this time instead of fourth. Much better rotation. Third, braking about 25 feet before whatever the board that was. And here again, we'll brake about 20 feet after 20, getting closer to the middle point between the 100 board and the 50 board. Where it slowed down too much for the corner there. Yeah, so that's a 150 board, getting closer to braking in the midpoint of the 150 and the 100 board there. That's kind of midpoint between where the dirt comes back close to the track and that 50 board. And here, I think that's a 50 board I broke at. Probably gonna brake a little bit after it, then I won't brake around this 50 board this time. Going for that late apex, good angle. Gotta be careful getting that curb though right now with this Porsche because it just bounces so much. We'll brake just a little bit after the 100 board again, trying to get a late apex here. That's almost the midpoint of the between the 100 and the 50 board there. It's a little bit more on the 100 board side. Braking before the 50 board, just cut a little bit of that grass. Starting to get halfway decent at being able to downshift when my steering wheel's upside down. It's a hard thing to master. I just need to spend a day of just spinning around doing donuts to get really good at it, but I don't know, I guess I just don't have that dedication. Alright, so that again, that's looks like it's a little bit on the early side, but it's 100 and 150 board. Just barely touched the grass again. Trying to get a little closer to the midpoint between the 50 and the 100. As far as handling, the car is feeling pretty doggone good right now. Keep it on fourth. I think I can fourth is the way to go through there. I don't know. It's actually kind of bogged down on exit, so it didn't quite have that acceleration third did, so maybe third is better. That's the first time I hit the rev limiter there, so if you get good exits out of second to last corner, that left-hander, you'll probably have to do a short shift to fifth. Or we'll keep it in fourth and let it hit the rev limiter. Whatever is more comfortable to you. So right now I'm trying to get a late apex right corner and get as close as I can to the curb on apex, but not hit the curb, because right now it just unsettles the car too much when I hit the curb in that corner. So again, we'll go back down to third through this corner, see if that helps me on exit. I was red on exit as far as my relative bar was concerned. I think I slowed down a little bit too much. Didn't quite carry as much speed through the middle of the corner, but fourth might be the white ready to go. Now it looks like it's turning into one of those situations, whatever feels better for you kind of deal. Broke all the way at the 100 board that time. Nice late apex. Little drifty poo. Well, power slide, I should say. It's not really a drift. Power slide on exit. Again, I'm just barely touching that curb. Ideally, hopefully I can mess with the high-speed dampers to get them to go over that curb a little bit better. This high-speed dampers is what controls the faster movements of the suspension, where the low-speed controls the slower movements of the suspension. So the high speed's more for bumps and curb strikes, where the low speed's more for cornering characteristics, body roll, that kind of stuff. But I do believe they both affect the other in certain ways. I think it's all tied together. A lot of trail braking on this track, so it's important to have a good stable car under braking for me. So far, car feels decently stable. I don't think I've really got to the ultimate limits yet. Kept in third that time through there. Try that a couple more times. Alright, there we go. Got through there without hitting the curb that time. Yeah, I think fourth gear is the winner through there. At least for me in my application. Might be different for you. One really nice thing about the way this car feels right now, in certain corners where it might feel like you're kind of a little understeery on entry and middle. When you get back on the gas, you don't have to worry about it pushing. It wants to turn more than it was on entry and middle. Yeah, I think third gear is the way to go through there. And that characteristic I'm talking about, it's more the fast sweepers. It's not corners like that. Corners like that, the car feels like it has really good rotation on entry and middle. But this corner up here is what I'm talking about. Make them into the corner, do fourth gear. Car's got a little bit of understeer in it, but ah, come on, car, why didn't you work with me? I was trying to prove something. That's just driver error. But it just has a real nice, comforting rotation feel to it when you get back on the throttle. Just as long as you're not a complete muppet on entry in the middle like I was that loud. See, like right there, It was kind of pushing. I just got on the gas, committed to it. Finally, when the suspension came up over that hill, came down the hill and started to compress a little bit, the car just started to turn. Same with here. Just, that should have gone off track right there, but once it finally compressed, got to that last little bit, it tucked in just enough to keep me on track. That's what I'm talking about. That's a really tricky corner to optimize. Same with this corner. Especially when you got a car that does not want to touch that curb. Just nice, easy trail braking into the apex, and then just back on the throttle. Nice, easy trail braking into the apex, back on the throttle. This track has such a nice flow to it. Nice, easy trail braking, back on the throttle. A little bit heavier braking here, but not too aggressive. Nice, easy trail braking into the corner, miss my apex, and back on the throttle. A little bit harder trail braking here. I waited too long to turn back in. Heavier braking here. A little too heavy that time. Moderate braking there. Moderate braking that I ease off it. A lot of modulation on the brake pedal going through that corner. To just help me get through the corner and stay on line. Just figure out a way to get some more rotation in the middle of the corner just before I'm getting on the throttle. These sweepers just a little bit. And a lot of that is a byproduct of just having a full rear wing. Nothing's popped into my head yet as far as an adjustment. I still think I need to run some better, more consistent laps. I haven't really got I don't have the muscle memory down yet. I don't think I've really plateaued. I think I'm getting close to it, but I don't think I'm quite plateaued. I think I'm getting into the 23s before I make an adjustment change. But first, oh, don't hit anything. Don't hit anything. Ah. Stupid. That's kind of frustrating. Alright, how many laps was that? That was 12 laps already, huh? Oh, I forgot I did some little warm-up stuff to get the audio levels right for you guys so I could stop sabotaging my own channel. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a lap chart. Alright, put in 9 laps. I'm just gonna look at, I guess I can look at tire pressures. That's actually something I can adjust right now because they are cattywampus. So last week at Silverstone, I really liked him around the 187 mark. So that's what I want to shoot for right now. I just don't know if I want to take that left front down one click, because if I do, in theory, when it's hot, it should be 186, which isn't bad. All right, so I'll take that down one. We bring this up, difference of 4, so this will be 187 in theory when it's hot. Here, we're going to take this down 1, that's 3, so we're at 190 in theory. So we'll take it down another one, that's a difference of 4, so we'll be at 196 in theory. When this is hot, oh no, 186, sorry. When this is hot. And then, do I want to touch this at all? I don't want to touch that. I do want to touch that. Now, this is just a gut feeling. I'm kind of thinking like NASCAR, because there's a lot of right-handers in here. So would I rather this have more pressure and be, as a result, just have a little bit higher ride height and a little bit more firmness in it? Do you really want that on your inside tire, or do you want your inside tire to just be a little bit lower in pressure than your main outside tire, so you have that natural stagger that leans into the right-handers, and it's a little bit softer so it doesn't quite want to buck the car over so much to the outside if the inside hits a bump or something like that. So those are my reasons for making that adjustment with the tire pressure. Let's see, so I guess that's good. I did hit something because my tire pressures were kind of silly, and I did have, you know, basically a 10-lap run. Probably could have made a minor adjustment to my front high-speed dampeners too, just to start working on that with the bumps, start experimenting, but this one change is enough at a time. If you're making more than one change at a time, it's usually due to you just, you know, impatience because you don't have enough time, you have other things you gotta do. You can't really sit down and take the time to do everything one at a time, but you can also do things two at a time when you have more knowledge and you have a much better idea of what the car is going to do. Of course, the car feels amazing right now because we got brand new tires. Even with brand new tires going down to third gear through there, it was slower in fourth gear, so tells me about all I need to know about that. Right now, the front end feels like it has better grip through the middle of the corner. It doesn't feel like it has quite the understeer it did before, but we'll see if that continues. See right there, it's pushing. That's kind of because you're going down a hill and the ground's always pulling away from the tires. So that's just kind of natural for a car to push when you're coming over a crest and then down a hill, because the front tires just don't have the traction. They're kind of just floating on the track. So there I broke a little bit after the 50 board. Just did my initial braking, and then my speed was perfect, so I just kind of coasted for a little bit and then got back on the throttle. So I wasn't trail braking all the way around that time. Let's keep it in fourth. Bad line. There's still some of that push in the middle of the corner. The middle of the corner, and then the transition between middle and before I really get full throttle. can tell I'm pushing a little bit too hard, so I'm gonna back off. I think I'm driving into the corners too hard right now, so I'm gonna kind of slow that down. Car feels, I love the way the car feels through that corner. That can be a tricky corner in a lot of cars. But with all the weight over the rear axle this Porsche has, it gets around there quite nicely. Subconscious went to 5th gear there. Interesting. Much smoother through there that time. It was a little bit slower, but it was smoother, which is good because eventually I'll get more consistent and I'll go through there faster. But first I need to focus on being smooth. Kept it in 3rd. Just riding the edge there. Did get a 1X, unfortunately. Yeah, this is. That was a great combo here. I didn't even realize it was Brands Hatch this week because I was about ready to not do a video because again, this is my crunch week kinda as far as work is concerned. Everything's leading up to this week, but I mean I can fit an hour in a day here and there. Over the course of the week, I definitely gonna try and do the races this week. Probably do a race, the sprint race Friday morning, do an endurance race Saturday morning. So I haven't raced for like a month, I think. Those races, I mean, the endurance race takes a little bit longer, but it's alright. I can dedicate 5 hours of my life to iRacing this week, I think. Not feel too guilty about it. But after that, things should start to become more regular again once everything settles down. Alright, back to driving. Did have to do just a little tap of the brake to check my speed. Just get a little bit better rotation through the middle there. Kind of hoping what just popped into my head is when like I was talking about earlier, how high-speed dampers are just for, you know, curb strikes and stuff, but they do, I believe, affect the body roll characteristics as well. What I'm hoping to do is do some adjustment on my high-speed dampers that maybe take care of the being a little bit smoother over the curb strike, being more compliant, and helping me out with that push that's happening towards the end of the middle of the corner. So that's a thought that just popped in my head. So obviously, if you can do one thing that fixes two things, what's a good thing? Simplifies things. Sometimes you can simplify things, you're doing yourself a service. Second. up the fifth gear again to my subconscious. Blowing it. That was fun though. I can run. I think I can run some mid-high. Keep it in fourth here. See what happens. Maybe try that a couple more times through there. But yeah, mid to mid-high 23s. I think is a good race pace or an excellent. It's top. I don't know. It's been so long since I've driven in a race. I think more often than not it'll get you a top 10 if you can run low 24s to mid 23s. That's again just a hunch. Already starting to get a little fatigued, make middle errors. That's something. That's probably going to be my biggest challenge, is just my brain's not conditioned to drive for any period of time really right now. So, it might be a little bit harder mentally to do these races this week just because of the time involved. Oh, no! Probably did another 10 laps, be a good chance to see what my tire pressures are. Let's see, how many laps did we do first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least enough to give us decent pressure readings. The only one I really don't like is that 187, but I don't really know what to do because I don't want to go down another quick because that's 4, so that takes me down to 183. And I'm gonna save this first. Alright, I'm going to increase the front high-speed rebound dampening by 3 clicks. I mean, first off, the high-speed rebound dampening is for controlling how fast the spring rebounds after a fast curb strike. So after a real fast movement, controls the release of compression. So what I'm doing down is slowing down how fast that releases. For the curb strike part of it, why it might work is when you initially hit the curb, compresses the suspension real quick, and if you let the suspension come back out quicker, it acts like a little pogo stick, right? And it'll just kind of shoot the car up. So that's my thought. If we slow down how fast that comes back out, maybe it won't leap off the curb. And then for the handling part of it, typically the low speed rebound dampening is what you're really using to change this, but I do have a hunch that the high speed also does influence low speed characteristics. So as we're going into, let's say, let's do a right-hander because it's primarily right-handers here. If we're going into a right-hander, as the car goes into the corner, we're going right-hander, it wants to roll that way, right? Well, by slowing down the rear rebound on the shocks, it slows down that rear end from being this side from being able to pull up, because you're slowing down the rate at which it pulls up. I was pointing at the back there, but it's the same difference for the front. So let's see if that did anything. Definitely the best I got through there. I think I'm just going to let it go up to 5th gear. 2 spots, that corner back there, and then show you here in this lap and get to it. Right here, as I was talking about, where I'm also going to let it go up to 5th. That's just kind of a fun corner because you kind of do a little, just very slight 4-wheel slide as you're coupling them up over the crest. Well, that's just kind of fun because the car's just pushing and you're just fully committed to keeping the throttle down and hoping that it'll turn, and it does. You just have to wait for it. Have confidence that the car will turn for you. I haven't really hit that curb too hard yet. Sorry, I just sneezed. So I guess I'll have to start making a more conscious effort to hit that curb. I mean, it doesn't, I mean, I don't even know if that's the fastest way to go. So maybe the fastest way to go around is just whistling the curb, or just barely grazing it, you know? I do know I'm about ready to run a personal best if I don't mess this corner up, which I kind of did. Barely caught the grass on entry there. Just really want to get every little bit of the track you can. That's why every now and then I'll nick that grass. Eventually my muscle memory will get better to where felt pretty good going over that. Had a little bounce to it, but I definitely didn't mob the curb. I more or less kind of kissed it that time. Nice and smooth going over that. I missed my shift, which is always impressive in a paddle shift car when you miss a shift. Alright. And then again, I'm just praying it turns, and it does. And I even missed my apex there. It normally wouldn't push out quite that far to the edge, but I did miss my apex, so it's driver error. Ooh, went over that curve beautifully. Just butchered that. Pushing the boundaries. Now I want to drift. Ah, I suck at drifting. Alright, I think I'm done for the day, guys. Come on, turn. Drift. Drift. Drift, you devil. Oh, Chris Harris ain't got nothing on me. Alright. Yeah, this is going to be a fun week. What other? I think the Ford will do good here this week. It'll still be non-competitive, but I think it'll be a really fun car to drive. I had to guess, I think the Rust's going to be the fastest car this week. I could see the McLaren doing well here too, but it does have trouble with some high-speed corners. I don't know if I've ever driven the McLaren on this version of the track, so I don't know if how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? How do we go now? Nope. That's not how you do that. Alright, save the setup. Butchered my tire. See, that's 187 that time. So if you guys keep checking this tire pressure and it's like 4, it might be like that just because I was monkeying around. But if this is up 4, I'm going to move it down next time I do a test run. So that's something I'll look at. So it's more in line with these 184, 183s because you take this down, it goes from 145 to 141. It's a difference of 4, which will give us 183 when we're done. Save that because I'm not sure if I did. Alright guys, it's going to be a fun week. Hope you enjoyed the video and hopefully I'll get another one out here tomorrow. Alright, take it easy.